We have two totally different markets in our city. My business is predicated on this group. This is the people I want to see coming to Pine Avenue and dining. Unfortunately, a lot of you same people are on the east side, and they don't venture to downtown anymore. So we are creating our businesses to go to the South Bay, Lakewood, Southgate, Downey. They come downtown, they love it. They love everything about it. The key to the success for downtown to me is all about density. We have been meeting for about the last year with a group of visionary people about downtown. And without the density, it's never going to be a major success. You saw the video. I mean, it was all about people. We had people. I mean, it was like there was everybody on those videos you've just seen right now. But for some reason, we have a problem with what it's being attracted to downtown today. The mix of the people, which I think is a beautiful thing, unfortunately is creating a negative thing because 1% of those people come down in that blue line. And that blue line is a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass for everybody. The MTA supposedly pays for our police department, the sheriffs, to be on the blue line as they travel. They get paid by the MTA to be on the blue line, but they're never on the blue line. So what the hell are they doing with that money? In a lot of ways, we have to force, and we're talking today to the Long Beach PD, that when that blue line hits the Willow or Wardlow, the main terminal up north, it should be taken over by Long Beach PD and not the sheriffs. We need to take care of our own downtown, and unfortunately, the sheriffs are on the Metro line, and there's not a lot of communication that goes on between those. Next slide there, Ryan, so I can keep going. We don't have that much time. Parking, we kind of hit. I think when you talk about issues with City Hall, I think everybody knows about the issues, and it's great that Gene Rotundo's here today. When him and I were talking about me taking Legends, I did all the legwork for him. I spent a year dealing with City Hall for them trying to figure out a planning, building, and zoning that by law, if you have a fire, a disaster, emergency, you're allowed to rebuild what you had before, as long as you bring everything back to its handicapped accessibility of the current laws, which really meant increasing all those areas at the old Legends location. It ended up that that kitchen and new bathrooms have come all the way forward, so we had to add the second floor to get the additional square footage to keep you at the original, I'll use round numbers, 300 people was the original occupancy, and that's what we tried to get to, and we tried to explain to staff. They just don't get it. There's a total disconnect when you're dealing with staff in planning and building, especially public works. They are truly out to lunch. They don't have a clue what it takes to open up a business. They don't know how to communicate to people. And it's so unfortunate that it just seems like it's about cover your ass. And I know Mr. West is here today, and he's already making changes. And I'm not bagging on the current people, as I mentioned earlier. But the history of what's been going on, I know everybody in this room knows what goes on at City Hall. They've heard it from everybody. Unless you can afford a lobbyist who can guarantee you 5 votes, you're going to take forever. Now, for me to help with Gene and where he's at, people keep asking, what's taking so long with Legends? Well, the first year was dealing with the city till we figure out how much square footage we could have. They couldn't figure it out to start with. It used to be 300 people. Let's back into this. They don't know how to back into anything. They don't want to work with you. I changed from mums to smooths, knowing, man, I got to keep this going somehow or other. I got to work this. I had 65 employees, so I did it the John Morris way. I closed down, remodeled, gutted it, boom, 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 finished it in 9 days, reopened. Yeah, I may have pushed the envelope, but in order for me to keep the 65 employees in place, I had to do this quick. If it had gone through a process, never would have happened. That door would have been closed, everybody was laid off, fired, gone, out of the door. They just have to really, in the patio, God, I can't even talk about that. That awning of mine right there. Pine Avenue Fish House had an awning, so I thought, ooh, that looks good. This was 14 years ago. I think I'll get one of those. Well, guess what? 11 years later, I got one. When I opened on Pine Avenue, I had my sidewalk dining. They entice you down with all these beautiful brochures. Come to Pine. This is what you need to do. Pioneering's hell. I have to tell you. I started with my patio. 2 weeks later, somebody from the city comes over and says, you can't have a patio on the sidewalk. I go, wait a minute. I got my plans, I got blueprints, I got pictures, I got brochures. Redevelopment is this? Yeah, but redevelopment doesn't control this. Well, what are you talking about? It's the city. No, that's Public Works. Well, tell them to fix it. I got the patio. I got the first patio dining restaurant in the city of Long Beach, but it took me 2 years to get a permit, then to bring it back. Even though I had it when I opened, they took it away, then give it back. To me, it's just not a business-friendly city. In these past 25 years, my experience has been they're less than friendly. I was reading Henry Meyer's bio when I did his birthday program here about a month ago. And I noticed there's a big article about him in the paper, and his headline was when he was going to be the president of the Chamber of Commerce. We need to make this change the way the city does business and treat business. Well, nothing's really changed that much. So Pat, keep smiling, baby, because I know you're going to make it happen. And I think, and I'm not going to put the pressure on. I mean, the pressure is that we do need to change. We have a lot to do. We have issues. We have public safety. We argue and argue about public safety and how do we pay these people. Well, you know what? It's all about priorities. We have 11, I want to give you a number right now they're not going to like, but they don't want to talk about it. In the next 12 months, we're going to have 11,000 18 to 25-year-olds being released and sent back to the community where they committed their crime. And guess where they're coming back to? Long Beach, because that's where it started. And that all happens in the next 12 months. And we bicker and fight. And Tony Batts went before the council at least 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I was sitting in there and he pleaded, we need 300. I need 300 new cops, above and beyond the 1,000 that we've been budgeted for. I need 300 more. Bob Foster runs for office. I'm going to give you 100. I'm going to get you 100. That's my pledge. That's my pledge. Well, budget process starts. About a month ago, guess what? There was 2 classes for the academy. We cut one. Why? Because nobody wants to take the damn hard way to go. We have to change the way we do business. We can't be concerned with, we have a council that is so unionized right now. It drives me nuts. The priorities are screwed up. We have to take care of the community. In a city of Long Beach, as you all know, I mean, 39,000 under 18-year-olds in this city in poverty. 39,000 kids. And what are we going to do with those kids in the future? We got to educate them. We got to change the way we do business. And the way I see all this happening, public safety is the key. Infrastructure needs to be taken care of. And we have this economic engine. You saw that video. You saw those people surfing right across the street over here. I don't know which way I'm facing, where the aquarium's located. All that whole area over there used to be beachfront, surfing. This city had everything. We come full circle today, we have everything again. The CVB does tremendous work in doing the convention business in this city. But that port, that economic engine that feeds this country, and I'm talking the country, we all know how much they talked about that strike they had at the port about 5 years ago, how many billions of dollars it cost the country. Why are we, the 5th largest city in this state, also poor, broke? We have this asset next door to us because we don't get our fair share. It's time for our city to stand up and just, it's not taxing the citizens of Long Beach, it's taxing the containers that come into this city. The price of doing business in this city to the container industry should be going up big time. Alan Lowenthal's got the right idea in the sense of his container bill to do infrastructure things and help with this and help with that, but there's no help for this community. There has to be a responsibility of that port. It's taken away the beachfront. The expansion of that port, Pier J, the LA River turns left, right into the beachfront. So I don't understand why the people in this room that live on the peninsula of Belmont Shore are not ticked off. When I came here in the 70s, I remember playing over the line on the peninsula, jumping in the ocean. I wouldn't do that today if my life depended on it.